So, true story time of when me and my two brothers and my cousin got chased by a homeless person. And here it is. So, I was probably like 14 years old, maybe 15. And one of my brothers is 1 year younger than me, and the other brother is 1 year older. So, I'm like the middle child, right? And then our cousin is even younger than us. I think at that time, he was like, I want to guess like 11 years old. So we had gone to this park to play baseball. We had like the bat, the baseball, and the park is not that close to our house, so it's like a good 35-minute walk. And it's probably around 6 p.m. in the afternoon, evening, and we're walking home. And yes, I'll take responsibility. It was my idea. There was like the train tracks, right? And the way that I grew up, I walked everywhere, so I knew my neighborhood so good, right? So did my brothers. We didn't grow up with parents having cars, so I saw the train tracks, and I was like, hey, there's a shortcut, which it was, because the train tracks would lead to probably like if we enter the train tracks and we walk, not actually on the train tracks, but on the side, right? And because it's like fence, there's fence all around, but there was like an entrance, and I was like, hey, we're going through here. When we exit, after like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so of walking, the exit would be like really close to our house, probably like a 5-minute walk after that. Or we can just keep walking, on the sidewalk like we should have been, right? And it would take us like a couple minutes longer. But yes, it was my idea, and I was ahead of the group. So it was me and my younger brother ahead of them by a little bit. And I was the first one to enter with my younger brother. And I got spooked because I saw a whole bunch of shopping carts with stuff in it. That should have been a sign. But I kept walking. And I see like, on my right side, I see like boots. So like somebody was sitting down. I just saw like their lower body, because they were like, I guess, sitting down on the side. And there was a couple of bushes, so it was kind of blocking some of the view from where, because there was multiple of them. There was multiple homeless people just, chilling, sitting down, I guess. And I just saw like, as soon as I was in the clear of the bushes, I was able to see a pair of boots, and what appeared to be somebody like sitting down. So I was like, oh my God. And I just ran back out. I mean, we're just starting to enter the train track, right? And then my younger brother followed behind me. And then my older brother goes, like, he just makes like this noise, like, oh, right? And then he goes in. And I think I just said like, oh, I think I saw someone. And that was it. And then that's when he said, oh. And then he just keeps walking, into the train tracks with my cousin. And by the way, my brother is very like, how do I say it? Just very like tough guy, right? So I remember like I began to walk behind him, but in a distance with my younger brother. So now they were the ones in the front. And I'm like slow walking because I'm still kind of nervous. And my brother's just walking like, kind of like fast paced, walking in. And next thing you know, I see my brother's face. And he has like this panic in his face, like he's scared, which is so not like my brother. So that really caught my attention. And I was like, what? But I didn't say anything. I just started running because I thought that he saw the same thing I saw, and he just got spooked too. But little did I know that this person had actually gotten up and started chasing after us. And keep in mind, my brother, he's the one carrying the bat. Okay? I think my cousin must have been carrying like, I believe we had like a, what's it called? The glove, the one you catch the ball with. And he also had the ball with him. And I didn't have anything on me or my younger brother. So now we're running out of there. And now I see this man after us. And I get so scared. And luckily we were in a busy area. So we start running and I start screaming. I'm trying to stop cars, like waving my hands and screaming. And people are like slowing down, I guess, because they're confused. Like, what's going on? And only one, I don't know how long we ran for, but I remember I was like contemplating, like, do I go inside the store? Then there was like streets. But like I said, I know the neighborhood so well. So I knew that if I turned down the street, that it was just houses. And yes, it wasn't dark outside, and it was summertime. So at least here in California, where I live, it's it gets dark really late during the summer. So yeah, so that's happening. And eventually the homeless guy passes me and my brother. And I was like, huh? And then I realized that he's going after my brother. Now, eventually a guy on the bike, he stops the homeless guy. He's like, hey, come on, stop. And he starts talking to me like, hey, come on, they're just kids. And I guess the homeless guy is talking to the guy on the bike for a little bit. He stops running after my brother, and eventually he starts walking back, just walking normal back to his, I guess, location where he was hanging out. And I mean, thankfully that guy helped us out and, told him to leave us alone. Now we are all spooked out of breath, so we're not even talking much on the way home, and once we, we're close to the house, I think my older brother was like, don't tell my dad. He's gonna get mad at us. And so we didn't tell our dad or anyone, any adult, Which now I laugh because I'm like, oh my God, that's so true. My dad doesn't know, or my mom. But yes. And so here's the thing. According to my brother, because he overheard the conversation, I think I was just too scared to even care what they were saying to each other. I'm like, just leave us alone, But here's what happened. This guy thought that my brother grabbed his bat and took out running with it. So he thought that belonged to him, where in reality, we brought that bat from home. So that's the reason why he passed me and my brother, my younger brother, and that's why he kept chasing my older brother. Oh my God, now that I never thought about this, but no offense to my older brother, but thank God I was not the one carrying that bat. I mean, for sure he would have catched up to me. I mean, he passed right by me, so that's crazy. Like, no, I never thought about that, but oh my God, he for sure would have snatched it away. I hope that's all he would have done, But I did wonder after this incident happened, I'm like, did he ever figure out that it wasn't his bat? Like, did he ever figure that part out? I mean, I'll never know for sure, but yep, that's the story, we never saw that guy again. And I never suggested taking the train tracks again for obvious reasons. But yeah, that's just, it's crazy, like, wow. I'm really having flashbacks to that day. But okay, I'll give you some scratches. Some scratches before you go. But yeah, that's the story of how we got chased down by a homeless guy who thought that we stole his bat. Which we would never do that. We were not, we were super sporty. That's the thing about us. We were super sporty kids. We were not troublemakers. We loved the outdoors. We loved going to parks, playing sports. And that was us. So, I mean, I hope he eventually figure out that it wasn't his bad, because, you know, I wouldn't want him to have that idea about us, right? Even though we're just strangers to him. But, yep, that's the story. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I'll see you guys on the next video.